Oui, je m'appelle Alison. Qu'est-ce que c'est votre favorite condiment? Oh, hey, you guys, I didn't see you there. I was just being interviewed by the French press. Hello, and what is up? I have spent all day sitting in front of my computer exercising. And by that, I mean not exercising. I've been working on an assignment all day. The blood is like pooling in my legs. A clot might break off and shoot to my brain, and then I'll be dead. And that would suck, because I died not even wearing earrings, you guys. Look, this pencil matches my sweater. Weird. In real life, it matches my sweater, but on the Daily Alison, it doesn't as much. This is what happens after I use my brain at a high level all day. Then it's just mush. And when I come to you guys, I'm like, hi, here's my brain. Did you miss me? I feel like it's been a long time since I've seen you, but not that long. Anyway, here's the deal. I'm just going to level with you. I had to look up how to say what's your favorite condiment in French. And even though I took French, I forgot. But no, I was going to level with you about something else. So last night was the 3rd season premiere of Mad Men. I did not watch that show, but I did watch last night because not only do I feel like I need to enrich my life by watching more television shows, but also I had planned to line up a Mad Men correspondent. That did not go as well as I had hoped because my Mad Men correspondent apparently has some other stuff he has to do. So then I'm like, fine, I'll just line up another Mad Men correspondent, but that one was on an airplane and hadn't seen the episode, and then in the meantime the original Mad Men correspondent was like gonna be available, and so then I'm like, to the other one you're off the hook, but then now this one is busy and I could track this person down, but it's just not worth it because I'm like, you know what, since for me it's all about what I have to say anyway, let's just cut out the middleman. This is about me and you and me. And when other people are part of this show, to me, it's just filler. It's like you could have a small, high-quality hot dog, a cocktail wiener-sized, packed with meat dog, or you could have a larger dog filled with wood shavings and hydrolyzed vegetable protein. I don't even know what that is, but I don't think I want it in my... Well, see, the funny thing, though, is that despite the fact that I said all this, I actually would opt for the greater amount of food with wood shavings in it. But I just mean, in our relationship, I'd like to keep it pure, which is why I'm just going to come out and say right now that I enjoyed Mad Men. And I want to let you guys know, I don't think there's going to be any spoilers in what I'm saying. I am new enough to the show, although if any TV shows want to hire me as someone who can talk as if I know about what I'm talking about, then please don't watch this episode of Daily Alison because that'll shatter that illusion for you. Okay. Where was I? Oh, yes. I don't even think I could spoil anything if I wanted to. That's how new to the show I am. So I'm just going to explain that there's like 2 young guys who have dark hair, and one of them has a British accent in some of the scenes, and then in other scenes he doesn't have a British accent. And so like he's talking to someone he works with his British accent, and then he goes into his office and he's talking to his wife and he doesn't have an accent, and she says to him, I love your voice, and I'm like, so she loves his American voice. And then I start realizing that sometimes they're calling him Hooker and sometimes they're calling him Campbell, and I am now really confused because I thought maybe he was affecting this accent to get ahead in the office or something, but then I'm like, why does he have 2 different names? And then it dawned on me, these are 2 different characters. So I say to you, casting directors, think about not hiring 2 people who look the same. Do more like what Full House did with, like, you could not confuse Joey and Jesse, you know, because they look really different. But when it's 2 who look kind of the same, it's going to confuse people like me. Also, I get what people are saying about the great writing and brilliant acting. if you like that stuff. I guess this show has that. In other news, over the weekend, I rode my bike, and by my bike I mean Dustin's bike, to Governor's Island, and then around Governor's Island. I went over the bridge, Governor's Island, around Governor's Island, and then back to the train station, where I was going to just take the train back because I was really tired. It's funny. Uh-oh, I've put myself to sleep. And carrying the bike up and down the steps was a lot harder than I expected. So I was like struggling with it, and I'm all bruised, by the way, from this endeavor. I was struggling with it, and then all of a sudden the bike just magically lifts up in the air because a stranger was helping me carry it. And then there were all these other staircases. A couple things oh my god, you guys, some idiot hit a key in the middle of what I was saying, right when I was getting to the really good part about how I've noticed that since riding a bike, I'm much more aware now of slight inclines, numbers of staircases. Like, I didn't realize that it's hilly some places. Now I know. And I also didn't realize that where I thought maybe there was like a staircase or two, there's like four flights of stairs in certain subway stations. Also, so the stranger, after carrying my bike, he turned to me and he said to me, "Get a lighter bike." And I was like, go to hell. And then I stood there holding the bike, waiting for the train to come, thinking, what would I do if the bike just fell on the tracks, you know? It was like, you know, I don't know, well, no, you guys will be able to relate, even if you don't live in New York where you take the subway. A very common thing that people think about is just jumping in front of the tracks. It's just a common thing that we all think about. No, I think a lot of people have that sort of weird fantasy of, like, what would you do if you fell on the tracks, or, like, what's stopping you from, I don't know, you know, there's a lot of danger on the tracks, and what if you were part of that whole danger? So anyway, I had that whole thought pattern, but with a bike this time. Like, what if the bike, whose name is Ernesto, obviously, what if Ernesto fell on the tracks? Dustin, don't listen to this, it's going to freak you out. Ernesto is Dustin's, although I named him. You know, and like, would I go diving after Ernesto, who had a death wish? Probably not. I wonder if I had that whole thought pattern because at that point I actually wanted to get rid of the bike because the bike was an albatross, but not a cool albatross that could fly. Can albatri, can they even fly? I don't really know. I'm beginning to realize why it's sometimes good for me to have a guest on this show. It keeps me tethered, because I'm untethered right now. I'm just floating around. I'm orbiting around logic. I'm also really tired. Also, earlier when I said that I was being interviewed by the French press, it doesn't make sense then why I was asking the French press what its favorite condiment is. But sometimes when you're interviewing people, they ask you questions. So it doesn't make that much nonsense either. It's not English. Check it out, you guys. It's a duck in a French press. Look, why do you put a duck in a French press feet first? So you can watch its expression. That's actually a twist on a very sick joke, which I'm not going to tell you. But it involves a blender. And a dead baby. Okay. Look, this is kind of, I'm just going to go now play with my stuffed animals. I hope you enjoyed this. I think I'm going to reconsider my not having a guest thing. Maybe I should sleep a little bit too, and then I'll be more myself. Okay, love you guys, bye. And also, my dad has been saying to me, even if you can't think of a witty pun, or even if, you know, you don't even have anything to say, people just want to hear you talk. Like, they just like checking in with you. It's just a nice part of their day. And my dad's day apparently isn't complete unless he watches the Daily Alison. So, Dad, if this episode sucked, it's on you. Okay, bye, you guys.